Welcome to the hands-on lesson 4, and we're going to continue working on our HTML document. At the end of this hands-on lesson, you will have added 3 links in your navigational tag, and you're going to also add 3 images, 1 image per page that you have. And then we're also going to make sure we don't forget to credit the photographers. So this is lesson 4, and my very first page is going to be a Pikachu page. The second one's going to be a Charmander, and my last one's going to be Jolteon. Okay, so you're going to, you can still have, I think for this lesson, you'll still have the home page, page 2, page 3, but you should, at this point, we're going to go ahead. You should have already had some images in your folder, so we're going to go ahead and place those in the tag and then credit the photographer at the end. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and go to our My First website and open that up. I'm going to go ahead and run it. And this was the very last thing you did in lesson 3. And what we're going to do is we are going to add links to our home page, our page 2, and our page 3. And in our image placeholder, we're going to add an image here. Okay? So the very first thing I'm going to have you do is you're going to go to your nav tags. You're right here. And go ahead and place your cursor right in front of the closing nav tag and hit enter. So now you have the opening nav tag up on top, the closing one below it with your cursor in the middle. And if you remember, we discussed in the lecture portion of lesson 4, we went over the anchor tag and href. So we're going to go ahead and code an anchor tag. It's the first one that populates. And go ahead and also type href, and there it is. Click on it. And in between the quotations, what you're going to add is index.html, because that's what it's going to reference. Go outside of the quotation marks, and we're going to type. You could actually just grab this if you want. Cut that out. So let's just cut that. Oops. There we go. And we're going to do the right angle bracket and then paste it right after the right angle bracket. Okay. And now we're going to close that, that anchor tag. So let's close that. There it is. All right. So that's the first link that we're doing for the home page. So we're going to go ahead and grab this, highlight it, copy it, and then click at the end of the anchor tag, hit enter, and then you're just going to paste that, hit enter, and paste it again, and hit enter. Now if your if each line of code is indented, you can just click right in front of it and hit the backspace. That's going to line up. So you want them lined up one right under the other. And backspace 2 times for this one, 1, 2. Okay. And so right now they're all linking to the home page. That's not what we want. So go to your second line of code, which is right here. And you're going to, instead of index.html, let's go ahead and lowercase page 2, no spaces between page 2.html, and then let's go here and delete home page, the word home, and let's just place a number 2 there and say that's going to be page 2. I'm just going to do a little dash right now just for it to, so that we have some space. Okay. Same thing with the third line here. Just go ahead and replace that with page 3. No spaces. And I'm going to delete this word home, the text, and I'm going to do space there. You can have a space there because that's actually what's going to show up on this end of the browser over here, okay? So that's what you have right now, okay? Now we're setting this up. Go ahead and delete this. I guess we could have copied and pasted those. All right, so delete that. So now what you have, I'm going to close up this gap here. Now what you have in between your nav tags is your anchor tags with your href, your index HTML, your page 2, your page 3. So currently you do not have a page 2 and a page 3 HTML, but you're going to add those in right now. So you're going to come up here to your index HTML, and we want to make a copy of the same exact page, okay? So you're going to click on that and then just hit duplicate, and you're going to name that in lowercase, all one word, no spaces, page 2, and then enter. So you want to save that, and you're going to duplicate again another one for page 3, and that's going to be lowercase page 3, and hit enter. Okay, so now you have copies of them. Let's just run this. And once you run it, did you see the color changes? That means that it's going to link. Now let's test our links. I'm going to click, you know what, before we do that, let's go to page 2, because see the title up here? Just so that I know what page this is, I'm going to replace title with home page. And that title, we're going to change it later on, okay? And let's go to page 2 and replace that title with page 2. And do the same. Go ahead and click on your page 3 file and replace that with that title with page 3. All right, now let's run it. When you run it, it's going to take you, there it is, to the home page. And if I click on page 2, it's page 2. And if you go to page 3, you're on page 3, and I can go back to my home page. And our links are working, okay? And that was the goal, is to have our links work. Now the next thing that we're going to do is, I'm on my home page. I'm going to go back up here and click on my index file. I'm going to add now my images. So I already have some images in here. I have a Charmander image, and this one, I wrote Fox because I didn't know the name of this Pokemon, but it's Jolteon. And then I have Pikachu. So on my home page, I'm going to go ahead and pick one of my images, and you need to make sure that you type in the name of the folder. Whatever you named it, that's what you're going to type in. So I named it image, and then I'm going to do / and type the name of my image, and I'm going to pick this image right here. Okay, and I need to write JPG. Okay, and for the alt, I'm just going to write something simple right now, but this is, in the alt is where you would want to write a description of the image. I believe Pikachu is at the park, so I could write Pikachu is at the park. And I'm going to run this, and my image should appear. There it is. Okay, now I want to do the same thing for my page 2 file. I'm going to add an image here. Where is it? There it is. Place my cursor right between the quotation marks, and it's in the image folder, / and I'm going to write charmander.jpg, and I'm just going to write in my alt Charmander. Okay. And hit run. And if I go to page 2, every time you hit run, it always takes you back to the index page. So I do need to click on page 2 to see it. There we go. And now we're going to go to our page 3 file and add an image there. And that's going to be in my image folder, / Joel Tien. Oops, Joel Tien. I hope I'm saying that right. And I'm just going to type his name in again. All right. And I'm going to run that. I'm going to click on page 3. Oh, guess what I forgot to put here. Did you notice that? It didn't go to the link because I forgot to write down the extension. And actually, you know what? I didn't even write their correct name. I have it, the name of that image called Fox JPEG. Okay, let's run that. Let's go to page 3. There we go. Okay, so we just added links and images. One thing I want to remind you is you want to give credit to the author. So I used Unsplash, so I'm going to go to the Unsplash site. And if you use Unsplash and you find pictures here, something that they have that's really nice is they have copy to clipboard. So if I just click on that, I'm making a copy to credit Michael Rivera, and they actually already have it coded up. So I go to my Rebels, and that was on my index HTML, that specific image. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit enter 2 times, leave some space, and then place my cursor right below image. And I'm going to use a heading tag, an H3. I'm sorry, not an H3. I'm going to use an H6. I want it to be really small. And I'm going to go ahead and close that, H6. I'm going to place my cursor between my opening tag and my closing tag and hit enter. And then I copied it, so I'm just going to paste it now and run this. Let me first, let me go to the home page and scroll, because there it is. It already ran it. And there I'm giving credit. Don't be intimidated by all this code here. Let me go to page 2. And I'm just going to write some text. So let's say you have the name of the photographer, but it's not coded. Don't worry about that, because you can just place that inside your H6. We'll do the same thing, and then just go ahead and hit enter. And I'm just going to type in text. You can write text in here. Credit. Oh my goodness, I cannot type today. Okay, and maybe I could just write myself a note, reminder, until I get the photographer's name. Credit photographer, okay? And I like to have some spaces. I think I mentioned that in another video. If I run this, and I go to page 2, the text is going to show up. So you can always just write that person's name in here, okay, in between your H6. That concludes this lesson. I just want to remind you that we are going to back up this file. So let's go out here to the hamburger icon and go back to my REPLs. And if you remember, we are going to fork this lesson. That means we're backing it up and we're making a copy of it. And so I'm going to click on fork, And I'm going to name this Lesson 4, Confirm. This is it. Okay. I can run it. Nice. Now if you want to look at it in a new tab, this is what it looks like. And everything is still, if you notice, is still flush to the left, and things are stacked one on top of another. And that's because we have not added the CSS portion to this yet. And it's still black and white aside from the links here. So the thing that's brought life to this right now has been our image. So that's already made a difference on how our website looks. And you can see the links here. So they work on the browser, which is really nice. And also a final reminder, you can copy and paste this link, this URL, text it, email it to your family members, and they will get to see the progression of your website. All right, that concludes this lesson, and I'll see you guys in lesson 5.